Boxing has definitely helped me in so many different things because not only being a good fighter or achieving so much in boxing, it's only helped me to do more charity work and give back. I've started my own Amir Khan Foundation.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
It's good, man.
Weren't you like going to build an orphanage or something like that?
Yeah, I've just gone to Gambia, and I went to Gambia for a little trip. Obviously saw what's going on over there. I saw so many kids, who were single parents, who were orphans, that single parents, and I thought, how do these people live? So when I went to the village area, I saw so many kids with no parents or single parents, and I was like, wow, I go, these people need help. And it's not only about just building an orphanage for them to live in, but building an orphanage for them so they can, be educated, go to school, learn like, the general healthy stuff, sanitation and stuff, washing your hands before eating, cooking, and how to look after your friends or your brother or sister or the people around you, or your parents if they're quite sick. So it's only educating these kids, and I really wanted to do that. So I built a school in the orphanage. I've got an orphanage that's going to hold 300 children in this area in Gambia. They're going to have a praying area where they can do their prayers, like a church or a mosque or whatever they do. They're going to eat. They're going to be a dining table where they eat, knife and forks, learn how to use the knife and forks and stuff. They're going to read books. They're going to be educated. So then when they get older, they can educate the younger kids. And it's like a chain,
Yeah.
So then they educate the younger kids, and obviously, hopefully, then from there, they get a good job, and they can make something out of their life. You know what I mean? They can do something with their life. And I've always wanted to give back. So I just want to thank the people in the UK who support and who, put the hand in the pocket when I have these events, on charity events, and say, look, I'll bid, and I'll donate, and I'll show support. Without people supporting, I don't think I'd be in a position to help these young kids in the likes of Gambia. I mean, same in Pakistan, I've built schools, hospitals. When in Philippines, when the typhoon happened, I helped there as well for food and clothing and stuff. I sent over, and shelters and stuff we built. And same with when the Haiti disaster happened. We helped out there as well. So I've always been helping out with charity, but I always wanted to have my own team and be hands-on myself. So I want to be hands-on now. So that's why I've used the Amir Khan Foundation, so I can myself go to these countries that need help and get involved. Because look, I'm very lucky to be in a position like this where while I'm in this position, I want to get more people involved. And people are going to believe it. If I said to people, look, can you show support and help? They're going to say, look, Amir Khan, I mean, I don't take anything from the charity. I don't want a penny from it. Whoever's give that money, 100% of that money is going to go and help the people, the victims are going where it's going to go. I mean, I don't know how it works with these other charities. They might take money out for expenses or whatever, but we don't do that. So I wanted to make sure that Amir Khan Foundation is a charity that people are going to be happy with, and it is going to help young people around the world. Not only in England, because you can't really forget about your own country, like UK. Some people forget about your own country and they go to Africa, they go to other countries around the world. I want to also have my local communities as well. Create more jobs, education. There's a lot of homeless people and before I left, I went and fed the homeless myself with my own hands. I sat there with them, I even ate with them. And not many people would do that. I mean, I sat there, I stood behind the counter, I was giving them food, and then I felt a little bit peckish myself, I felt a little bit hungry myself, so I went and sat there with a couple of the homeless people and I ate with them. And they were so happy, they couldn't believe it. They go, look, wow, Amir Khan has sat with us. We can't believe you sat with us. And I was like, nah, man. I go, look, I'm just like you guys. So I wanted to, I want more people to start showing support. And what Amir Khan Foundation is doing is not only going to other countries and helping, but doing things grassroots, building like the community centre I have in the gym. I have a gym in the UK, hopefully get the next champion coming out of the gym. That's to take kids off the street around that local area, make sure that kids are not on the streets messing around, misbehaving. So we get a lot of support from the police, get a lot of support from the schools, and a lot of the kids come there. And boxing teaches you a lot of discipline. And I've had a lot of kids parents and kids teachers come to me and say, wow, we cannot believe how much the kid has changed, because since he's been going to your gym, his behaviour's got better. He started to behave in school and at home. He's started to be more respectful, and that's what boxing did for me. So if I can share that out and get other people involved in it, that's what I want to do. So yeah, man. I mean, boxing's not always going to be there. One day boxing's going to end. Yeah. I want to be a guy who goes out there and help people out who need help, who need my help.
The one thing I did want to ask you about is why Gambia?
Gambia is a country which is very hard to get to. Now a lot of people forget about Gambia, because obviously it's a country that not many people have heard of, don't know where it is. It's a very small country. Now it took me about 22 hours to get there, because obviously there's so many connecting flights, stopovers, and then connect. So a lot of people maybe think, it's so hard to work to get there. It's going to take us like 20 hours to get there. In those 20 hours, we could go to a place, help, and leave back home. So the reason I wanted to help there is because it's a place that seems to be overlooked and looked past. It's in Africa. It's a very small country. And when I went there, and I was walking through the village, I couldn't believe how many kids that were there that were orphans, and that kind of made me realize that, look, these people need the help, not us. I mean, I'm very fortunate. These people are the ones who, have no parents, have a single parent, have no food or nothing. So when I was there, I mean, honestly, it brought like a tear to my eye, because obviously it was so bad to see, so sad to see, one mother. I'll give you an example. A little story. Well, not a story. I'll tell you a little story that happened in Gambia. I met a woman. I met a mother. She had 4 children, and this was in a village. Now she had a house with holes in the roof. So when it rains, it floods the house. When it's hot, no air conditioning, nothing. When it's hot, it's too hot. So she was like, so when it comes to food, I said, what do you do? She says to me, well, I have 4 children, and I try to feed. When I feed one, then the other one cries, and I feed the other one cries. So it's come to a stage now where I have to pick which child gets fed on that day. I was like, wow, man. So, we go to food places. Look, we Krispy Kreme, we eating, we enjoying ourselves.
Right.
Even when we're not hungry, we might go and get a coffee, or might get a cake, or like a donut or something. And that's what hurt me. I thought, wow, check that out, man. She has to pick which child gets fed.
Wow.
And that hurt me, man. That's why I thought to myself, you know what? These people need me. People like me. These people need help. So yeah, hopefully that orphanage will be done within the next year.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna make a lot of visits over there, and still, even before fights, they send me videos saying good luck, Amir Khan, and I left some boxing equipment there for them, like a boxing bag. I've given 4 or 5 boxing bags, and they were hitting the bags.
That's
a little bit of exercise. So yeah, it was good, man. There was one orphanage over there, which only held 25 kids. It's only 25 kids. They said there's hundreds of kids out there who need orphanages, but we can only support 25 kids. So I thought, look, I'm gonna do something for you guys.
Wow. And you also just recently went over to
Pakistan.
Yeah.
So what happened with that was, after the fight, I got after the fight, I won the fight. I have a huge fan base in Pakistan.
Yeah, of course.
Being a Pakistani myself as well, it's crazy. I can't walk the streets over there, and they got so much love for me, the people over there. I heard that there were kids that were killed in a school, innocent kids.
Right.
And so I wanted to go there and say, look, I want to go show my respects, and show people that, look, they've got people like me, who want to help rebuild the school and improve on security around the area of schools, because the kids are the future. So we went there, and I was getting the phone calls from so many people saying, look, we don't advise you to go to Peshawar. But I'm like, I'm not going to stay in a hotel and do all this media stuff and say that, yeah, I've come here to support the children's families who died, and also want to improve on security, but I have to go to the venue, the place where it happened. I was getting so many people calling me saying, look, we don't advise you to go, I'm like, look, I want to go. I'm doing it because I really believe that these people need me. So when I went there, Obviously, it was really sad to see. I got the army who said, "Look, we'll take you there. If you really decide you want to go, what can we say? We'll take you." So the army took me there, and I remember walking past the school and in the school, literally like a week before, there was 130 plus bodies on the floor. You can still see like blood stains on the walls, on the tables with like bullet holes in the. And when I was speaking to a couple of the police people there, they were saying like kids were like told to be lined up, and they were being shot one by one in front of kids were getting beat up, teachers were getting beat up, teachers got shot and killed. And I was like, wow, man. I mean, so I went to a couple of the parents' houses, whose kids were in school at that time who died, and I went to say I'm sorry to hear and stuff and show my respects, and they were like in tears. They go, look, we left our kids to go to school. That morning, kids woke up, had breakfast, and they're so happy, and they left waving at us, and we never thought we'd ever hear this news. And it was heartbreaking, man. I mean, not a lot of people would have gone there, but I thought, look, I'm gonna be the first to go there and show my respects, and I'm glad I did, because it made me realize that, look, we're very fortunate and we're very lucky to be living in a country like England or in America where security and the law is very strong. And and I'm very blessed, where I'm in a country like here, so where no one can walk into a school and start shooting kids here.
Right.
So it's very sad, man. I mean, innocent kids. So yeah, we did a lot of charity events. I donated my boxing shots to the school. I've never ever given my boxing shots to anyone. When my boxing shots were made by a company called 24KT, by a fight label, and the waistband was pure gold.
Wow.
Stitching, yeah. So the shots were worth around about 25 grand. So what I said is, I give that to the school, and said, you guys rebuild that school. Buy books and stuff for the kids, new tables, just do it up a little bit, and the main thing is to improve on security, and also then give confidence to kids to go back to school. It's not only about going there and showing my face, but I went to talk to the kids. I spoke to one of the kids, and he was in hospital at the time. This kid was there when it happened. Luckily survived. He had a bullet wound in his shoulder, and such a big boxing man goes, I can't believe you've come to see me. Wow, you're Amir Khan, you've come here to see me. And it was about a 4-hour drive to see the kids in Peshawar, and they were so happy to see me, and that put a smile on my face, and I spoke to them. I said, look guys, this doesn't mean you're not going to go to school. I want you guys to go to school, do well in education, and make something of yourselves in life. And they were like, yeah, you're our hero, so we want to follow your footsteps, and so yeah, it made me happy. Like, it made me like I've helped some kids, and education is a big must. You have to be educated. And I told these kids, make sure you go to school, and I am gonna speak to the area around here and also the police and the army. We are gonna improve security around the area. And this is all you. This is. I mean, school is your future. I mean, you do well in school, you get a good job one day. If you want to go and get involved in sport, you can be a boxer like me or a better boxer like me, a better boxer than me. So it's all about school. Work hard in school, and you'll do well.
Why do you think that's so important to you to be hands-on and to do things like that? I mean, like, for example, I know about charities.
Yeah.
I know the incidents that are happening around the world and stuff like that, but I don't really do anything. I don't donate money.
Why I do it is because I can do it, and obviously being a big name and having like 1 million plus followers on Twitter and on Facebook and stuff, God's maybe put me in this position so I can give back and I can get more people involved. So when I said something like, oh guys, come and support this charity event, some out of that 1 million people, even 100,000 might say, yeah, we'll support it. Or they might think, if Amir's doing charity work, we should do charity work. So I do it so other people follow my footsteps, and because God put me in this position. So I really think that you have to give back, and it gives me peace. Honestly, it gives me peace. And my mum and dad have always been giving to the poor, building schools and stuff. Like another good one. I mean, another thing that they did was, like these poor families who can't get their kids married. You know, my parents have supported them to get the kids married. You know, stuff like that. So I kind of learned it from my parents. But obviously with me being in the position I'm in, I can do it on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So I learned it from my parents, and obviously they're very supportive in this with me. So nobody's gonna say no, because my parents are givers anyway. They like to give. So I was in a good position when I said I want to do this foundation, and I started giving back. People, everyone was on my side. They said, yeah, let's do it.